Who are you
here.
pushing it to?
To the carriage return.
Is there a carriage return ferry that's going to catch it and put it inside where it belongs so something like this doesn't happen?
No.
This is the plaintiff, Anna Radomski. She says she was sitting in her car at a parking spot at the local food store when she heard a loud boom and felt a big jolt. The defendant's shopping cart crashed into her driver's side door, denting it something awful. The careless woman shoved the cart across the parking lot, missing the cart corral area, and the cart T-boned her. The nervy woman pretended nothing happened, got into her car, and when she confronted her, she said, "Shopping carts hit cars all the time." Is this woman crazy? She's suing for $981.61, the cost to repair her damaged car. This is the defendant, Laura Spignesi. She says it was a snowy, windy day. When she pushed her cart towards the cart corral, the wind blew it. It hit a snow pile and veered into the plaintiff's car. She told the woman she was sorry, but things like this happen all the time. The woman started acting aggressively, waving her hands and arms around like a lunatic, so she drove away because she felt threatened. Bottom line, she didn't intentionally push the cart into her car. It was a freak of nature, and she owes nothing. She's accused of careless carting.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Anna
ma'am.
Radomski, you are suing Laura Spignesi for $981.61, the amount you say she owes you to repair your car because she damaged it with a shopping cart, correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, we have a diagram up here. Can you walk over to the diagram and explain to me how it happened? We actually do have a shopping cart.
We do.
Yes, we do. We're good. Pick a car to be you.
This is my car.
Okay.
I think the receptacle was either here or here for the carriages to go into, and her car was somewhere over here, somewhere like
Okay,
about that
I
far
got
away. I was sitting in my parked car. I saw her face like approaching my car, and I turned and I looked, and as I saw her face, I felt the bang of the cart in my
Wait,
car.
but where was she?
Well, she was walking towards my car. So first I saw her face because I didn't see the carriage because it was below my car level. And then like it happened so quick. I saw her face and then bang, I felt the carriage of the car. And then I saw her take the carriage, put it into the receptacle.
Wait, so that's it ends up hitting there where your driver's door is? Mm-hmm. Okay, and then she does what? Because the receptacle's over here, right?
Yeah, it may be this one.
Okay, and she does what?
And then I saw her take the carriage, put it in the receptacle, and then walk back to her car.
Like as if nothing?
Yeah.
And
So I got out of my car, and I was like, I think that was a carriage that hit my car. So I get out, and I looked at my car door, and there was 3 scratches, the top one also with a dent, and then also the driver's mirror had a scratch on it. I walked over to her car. She opened the window, and I said, would you like to come and look at what you did to my car? And she said, I don't have time for this. And I said, I think you should have time for this because I think you're responsible for what you did to my car. And she said, carriages hit people's cars in parking lots all the time. And I said, but this is a little bit different. You pushed it and it hit my car. And she said, I don't have time for this. And I said, are you kidding me right now? And it was before Christmas, like a week before Christmas. And I said, are you kidding me right now? And she just started backing up. And as she pulled away, I said, have a nice day, have a nice Christmas, or something sarcastic to her. And then I took her license plate number. I went to the police station.
did you memorize it, or were you able to take a picture of
I
it?
memorized it and wrote it down. I went to the police station. I filed a report with the police. I told the officer the story. He said she's absolutely responsible for the damages. I filed the report, which I submitted, or I have here. He called me about a week or so afterwards because he was going to try to get in touch with her to talk to her. He eventually got in touch with her. She admitted to pushing her carriage, said she tried to put it in the receptacle and it bounced off, and that's how it hit my car. He said, doesn't matter, you know, you're still responsible. She said she didn't think she was responsible, so I filed the thing for the small
Okay,
claims.
let me hear from you. What happened? Would you like to go over there and explain to me also? Go ahead and go.
So the receptacle is here. My car was not this far away. It
Okay.
was here. I put my groceries in the rear of my vehicle,
Right.
pushed the carriage towards the carriage receptacle, and it had snowed the day before.
Right.
It hit the snow and veered. It was a very windy day and veered off into her
Wait, what?
vehicle.
Wait, back up. How is the receptacle,
So
what's, you're not
receptacle-
gonna let me fall
this is-
again?
This is
Okay.
too large.
And-
So the
but doesn't it have,
Carriage return, exactly.
I'm sorry, can I talk? The metal bars that, you know.
Yep.
And then you're here, and what do you do?
And I pushed the carriage towards the carriage return, and it ends up
Who are
hitting
you
here.
pushing it to?
To the carriage return.
Is there a carriage return ferry that's gonna catch it and put it
No.
inside where it belongs so something like this doesn't happen?
No.
So you push it, and then.
It's a very windy day, because that's,
Ooh, so it was a very bad idea to push it then.
probably.
Okay, and then what happens?
And it hits the snow here and hits into her car.
And your defense is what?
Well, my defense is, first of all, her car is a 2013. I have no idea if those scratches were there prior to me hitting the
Yeah, anybody can
carriage.
say that. What's your defense? Your defense, you have just explained to me that in typical, incredibly arrogant, self-serving fashion, you can't be bothered to actually place the cart inside the cart receptacle, so you push it so that it's someone else's problem. Then it became someone else's problem, and when that someone else tells you it's their problem, your answer is, I'm too busy, I don't have time to wait. What's your defense?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, defendant's position is, look, you know, you go to a parking lot where there are shopping carts, you know, they're going to roll into cars. Cars are going to get dings. And I shouldn't be responsible for the repairs. You buying that?
I'm buying it. No, not paying anything.
What? So you think that this defendant is right, that you don't have to pay if your shopping cart rolls into some other car?
Yes, that's their fault. Not the person who owned the car's fault.
Okay, so it's the shopping cart's fault. Gotcha.
No, whoever had the shopping cart, they are at fault. If the shopping cart hits my car, you are at fault, and I want you to pay for it.
Fair point. Going inside the courtroom.
I want you to do something for me. Switch those two cars, okay? Let's say that Ms. Radomski's putting away her groceries, and it's your car that's parked there. What do you drive?
Buick Encore.
And then Ms. Radomski's too busy to put the cart in its own receptacle so it doesn't damage another car, and pushes it. And she looks me square in the face and says, what? It's windy and there's snow. Do you have to pay for your own car? Does that sound fair?
Well, I think a lot of people don't even return the carriage to the shopping cart receptacle.
Yeah, they don't.
Most people don't. And so flying carriages, in my opinion, is a pretty common thing in a grocery store.
Right. Okay, so let me see if I've got this straight. Your answer, who are the gentlemen who are with you?
My husband and my son.
Okay, all right. Gentlemen, this is what she's saying. Hey, this kind of thing will happen. Tough for you because you parked in a parking lot. Okay? Lots of people have dings on their cars in parking lots. That's what you're saying, right?
Lots of people do have dings on
That
their
is
cars.
what you're saying. And that's what you had the audacity to tell the police.
I did not say that to the police.
Oh, the police say you do. That's right in the report, that that's exactly what you said to them. The same thing she says you said to her, that lots of cars have dings in parking lots. So you literally push a cart, and because of wind and snow, or not because of wind and snow, it really doesn't matter to me, it ends up hitting another car, and you don't want to pay for the damages because, hey, stuff happens. You left instead of staying there and waiting for the police?
Well, she used profanities at me, and so I decided that I wasn't going to stay there and listen to her.
Girl, you should have taken your car and closed her in. Go ahead and go back. Do you have insurance?
Do I have car insurance? Yes, it's not covered under our car insurance. I contacted our car insurance.
But why? Oh, because of the fact that it's you doing the damage and not your car. Show me the quote. Now, you have some additional things you wanted to show me that you submitted regarding pictures. We can talk about that now. Go ahead.
On her quote from the auto body shop, which she gave, there are 3 markings. Each of those markings are less than 2 inches apart. I assume this is on her door, considering...
Let me see what you're looking at to conclude that. Is that a picture of the markings?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's the copy of
Just
the
a second, ma'am.
picture.
Okay, who wrote each marking is less than 2 inches apart?
I did.
How did you conclude that? Did you measure it?
I measured it
You measured it where?
from the photo.
How can you possibly measure it from the photo?
Well, each of those 3 markings is what she's indicating were done from the shopping cart.
Did you take a ruler and measure from here to here?
Yes.
Okay, why don't we do it this way? Hand her this picture, please. You can't measure it on a photo. Photo is a perspective depending on how far or close you are to it. You would have to measure the actual distance. Does that look to you like 2 inches apart?
No.
Right, that's the actual damage to her
Well,
car.
that was the copy I received from the police
Yes, I know,
report.
but don't you know that you can't look at the photo and measure it? You would have to measure it on the car to see. Like, if I stand a block away, then they're going to look at an eighth of a centimeter. You know, that's not going to mean that that's actually the damage. Here is the damage to the car. It's exactly where the binding is on the darn. Who's got the picture? Do you have the picture of the shopping cart? Like, we need to see it. Yeah. So your defense then is that, oh, it's almost perfect. Okay, so your defense is that that couldn't have possibly caused this, except for that A, you were seen causing it, B, you admit that that contact was made, and C, it actually is exactly where the bars are on the carriage, right? And the rest of the car looks pretty impeccable. Ms. Spignesi, I'm less concerned over your rudeness on that day and your inconsideration of other cars on that day and your hubris to flee the scene of an accident like you did than I am about your continued defense of yourself instead of just paying this. It's ridiculous. $981.61, verdict for the plaintiff, plus, of course, your filing fees. Thank you.
Well, probably not much surprise to anybody. The plaintiff has prevailed in this case, Ms. Spignesi. What do you have to feel about say about what the judge just said to you?
Well, I guess she feels that it's right, but I still feel in my heart it was just an act of God and a complete accident, that's all.
You're kidding. What do you think about this?
I don't know. It seemed like the judge was all on her side, to me. She didn't push it into her car. The wind.
She did?
No. The wind pushed it into her car. So that's what I feel.
Well, I'm sorry, but you're on the hook
Thank you.
for it, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe you've learned something.
No.
Okay. I think most people are just astonished that you don't feel you're responsible for paying it.
Well, I just don't. I'm sorry, but that's my
Okay.
opinion. Everybody's entitled to
Yep,
their opinion.
you're right. You're
Right.
absolutely
How I
right.
feel.
Okay, very good. That's why you ended up in court. Here comes the plaintiff, Ms. Radunsky. Yes. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, most people, well, I don't know, maybe most people would have pursued this and taken her to court. For $900, it's worth it.
It is a lot of money, yeah. It's just about being responsible.
Were you surprised? Did she?
Yeah, I was
She
surprised
acted
with
that
her
way?
actions. Yes. I was like, this is crazy. And,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, good luck. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Wow. What do you think, Harvey?
Okay, so anyway, this defendant is totally wrong. If you have a shopping cart, you have to control the shopping cart, and if you don't secure it and it hits another car, you are always responsible. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Claudette Robinson. She says she's known the defendant for many years and hired him to do some landscaping work in her yard, and he was supposed to resod her lawn with fresh grass. Well, the guy installed brown sod that looked like it was half dead. The defendant kept assuring her this was normal and that once it was in place, the soil would spring it to life. She woke up as instructed at 6 a.m. for 2 weeks to water it. No grass had grown, and she was royally ripped off. She also has a huge water bill now and is suing for the $3,200 she's owed for the shoddy job and punitive and emotional damages because her community board's now very angry with the condition of her yard. This This is the defendant, Thomas. He says the impatient plaintiff didn't give the sod time to adjust to the new soil. She didn't take the time to water it as instructed, and then she refused to allow him on her property to address her concerns. He's not about to return this woman's money, let alone give her money for emotional pain. She must be nuts or something because he doesn't work for free, for her or anyone else, and he owes nothing. He's accused of not being green enough.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant to landscape her property and says the guy installed dead sod and now her whole neighborhood is after her. But the defendant says she was just too impatient. It's the case of you're a real SOD.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Claudette Robinson.
Yes,
You are
ma'am.
suing Thomas and his lawn care company
Yes,
for
ma'am.
$3,200. $600 of it that you paid him for landscaping, and the rest in punitive and emotional damages to you because it didn't work out to be the lawn that you wanted. All right, talk to me and tell me what happened.
Well, Judge, good morning, first of all. April the 5th, 2018, the defendant and I, we entered into a verbal...
How did you know each other?
We live in the same community, and ironically, we're on the same committee, violation committee
Okay,
in our community.
okay.
He and I, we entered into a verbal agreement for him to lay some sod into a particular area of my yard.
All right, and then what was the agreement was that you would pay him what?
$600.
All right, and did that include pressure cleaning?
Pressure washing the driveway as well.
Okay, was all this was verbal, there was nothing in writing, correct?
That is correct, yes.
All right, so what day does he do the job?
He did the job on April the 12th.
Okay, and what happened?
He had a pellet of sod delivered to my house, which was installed by he and his daughter. The sod looked to me to be, as he was putting it down, I noticed that it was inferior.
How was it inferior?
It was brown.
Did you take pictures
Yes, ma'am.
of the sod on that day before he put it in?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so did you tell him, hey, that...
I did complain, and he gave me a guarantee. It's gonna grow. It's gonna grow.
Okay.
And in the interim, I would call him. He told me to water it twice a day, and it was gonna grow. And in the interim, I kept calling. We talked back and forth, and it just wasn't doing anything for me. And we live in a community where we get cited for if the grass is not.
Have you been cited?
No, ma'am. I'm on the committee, so I'm trying not to get cited.
No, but who does the citing?
We have a management team, a management
Okay, did
person.
the management cite you?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so now, do you have pictures to show me?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see them? And while you're looking at that, you tell me your side of things. Did you agree to sod her lawn and pressure clean her driveway for $600?
No, ma'am. I agreed to, the original agreement was for 2 pallets of sod. And I said, listen, and we agreed to it. And I said, now, just allow me to maintain your lawn, do your hedges for you, because I don't want anyone on the lawn. And her and I agreed to that. The only thing that she would do was put water on the lawn. And she said, well, no, I have someone cutting my lawn, so I really don't want to offend them, so I'd rather not you do that. And she said, anyway, after we get through doing the lawn, they're probably going to cite me for the driveway. And I said, well, I'll tell you what, as a courtesy, I'll pressure wash the driveway for you for free. And she says, no problem. So once we got the area prepped, she called me back and she said, hey, all I want to do is do 1 pallet of sod. And I said, well, 1 pallet is not going to do it. And so she went and she marked off the area to show me where she wanted the 1 pallet to go. And I met with her on her property, and I told her, I said, 1 pallet is not going to do that. And she was like, well, it's a woman's intuition, and it's just not 1 pallet. All I want to pay is $600. Originally, when we were discussing the 2 pallets, she asked me would I do the 2 pallets for $600. And I said, there's no way for me to do that.
So when 1 pallet, that 1 pallet of grass should grow, right?
Yes.
Even if it doesn't cover her whole lawn.
Right.
According to you, it didn't. Show me the pictures that you have. I'm going to need you to come over here because I don't know how to use your phone, so I don't know how to go to the next picture.
Turn in this corner for me, please.
Okay, when was this picture taken?
That was taken, I recall taking this because this was taken during prom time in Jacksonville. So between the 12th,
And those are prom kids back there?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, they need to dress up better for prom. Okay, I don't know if that's prom, but anyway, what else have we got going on?
And, okay.
Oh, so you're having the same problem I am.
Okay, Judge, these are pictures here.
No, I need you to click on the picture and let
Okay.
me see the picture. I can't see
Okay.
it. All right, when was that picture taken?
That was taken when Lena's husband decided, I asked.
Who's Lena?
This is my friend.
When her husband decided?
This is his yard man coming, because Thomas, he went further than I asked him to go to put my sod. I didn't ask him to go way back there. I know.
What difference does that make?
Because the pellet only takes about 500 square feet. I knew that I didn't have no 2 pellets of sod because he did.
Yes, I know, but what? Okay, so are you not? Do you want your money back because he put the sod in the wrong place, or do you want your money back because it didn't grow?
It didn't grow, and I watered it for over 2 weeks.
Okay, now show me the next picture you want me to see.
Yes, ma'am.
And where are you getting those pictures from? Are those texts you're sending him? What is that? Let me see what that is.
This up here are the texts that I sent him, but these are pictures that I would be easy to find them for you.
Is this the earliest one that you have?
Yes, ma'am. That's the first
Okay.
one. That's the first one. After I had called and complained several times to him.
I'll respect your privacy and not come on your property. So the only texts you have are after everything hit the fan.
Yes, ma'am. And he said he welcomed me
And
to
then
take
he
him to
said,
court.
if you don't want me to come on your property and monitor the grass, I gave you a guarantee on it. You have 48 hours to send me a text inviting me to monitor your lawn. If you do not text me within 48 hours, then you're on your own when it comes to your lawn. I withdraw everything that you and I agreed upon. Please reconsider how you feel because I've done nothing wrong, and a threat of taking me to court, I welcome that because I've done nothing wrong. Okay, so can you show me those pictures again? They're here. I got them. All right, so these are pictures that you took in preparation for court the other day. You just
Yes, I mean, because that's when I was preparing this file.
And that's perfectly fine. I
Oh, I
want to
have
know
those
when
over
the
there.
pictures were taken. They weren't taken in April. They weren't
No, I
taken.
have those over here.
Okay, this is a trial. I'd like to see them. Why are they over there? The judge is over here. Go get them. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So Thomas, do you have pictures of the lawn?
Well, I wasn't trying to stockpile evidence. And what the first, that was, those first original text messages was actually when I first received Mrs. Robinson's phone number. Your Honor, when the sod was delivered, because it was.
When was the sod delivered?
The sod was delivered on the 5th.
On the 12th.
The 12th, okay, well, the 12th, I'm sorry. The sod was delivered, and because the original agreement was for the 2 pallets of sod,
I don't care about 1 pallet or 2.
Okay,
it doesn't matter to
Yes,
me.
ma'am.
I just want the grass that was there,
Okay.
the pallets that were delivered, the pallets that were planted
Yes, ma'am.
to grow. That's what
Okay.
I want.
All right.
So what's this a picture of?
That's a picture of after Wayne Jordan started working in the yard. He took over because.
So now it's green?
Yes, ma'am. May I say this, Judge Milian?
So the grass grew eventually
ma'am, that's
when Wayne
not-
took over. What did Wayne do differently?
Wayne, we had to dig up that grass. That grass was not, it was laid on top of unprepped, the roots were still there. He laid.
I'm sorry, are you suggesting that Wayne brought in new sod?
Yes, ma'am, I have it. I have a picture of sod, yes, ma'am, from Home Depot.
What do you think would be the reason for there to have been a growth problem with the grass?
So does the plaintiff have a duty to let the landscaper back on the property to repair the problem? What do you say?
I believe so. Give the contractor a chance to come back and do whatever else.
If he screwed up once, do you have to give him a chance to come back and fix it?
Absolutely not. Screw it up once, we'll screw up twice.
Okay, tiebreaker.
Yes, they need to give them a chance to come back and fix it.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
And sometimes grass and anything that you plant, there is a shock situation where when you introduce
Well, then
it.
listen, either don't do the job or do it right.
Well,
I mean,
I take 100% responsibility for her side and her yard. As I told her.
but your feeling is what? That she refused to let you back on there, so
Right.
you don't have to pay her?
Well, no, when she told me not to come on the property, she violated the agreement. Your Honor, she sat in a chair and watched me plant that sod.
And paid you afterwards?
And she paid me out. There was no question about that sod. The only question that happened is when the sod didn't start taking, it's let's see what your lawn is going to do. Whatever does not grow, I'll replace that there at my cost. I stand behind my work 100%.
All right, so at the end, what we've got is this. We've got you pressure cleaning her driveway for free. We've got you replacing only 1 pallet at her insistence.
Yes, ma'am.
And telling you just do part of the yard. But based on what I'm listening to, you know, I'm sorry if you
Judge,
feel
hold
that,
on,
no,
hold
we're
on,
done,
please, hold on.
that I should punish him and grant you $2,600 in emotional damages over lawn. That isn't going to happen on this planet. And based on what I've heard, when you're unhappy with someone's job, your remedy is to give them a chance to remedy it, particularly when that's what he's saying to you. And instead what you did was say, get off my lawn. If he gives you a guarantee that if this doesn't grow, I'm going to replace it at my cost, don't worry about it, why wouldn't you just take him up on it? What is it you have to trust him about with lawn? I mean, I understand, you know, if you have, you say, I don't trust you anymore to a doctor, to some, I mean, no offense, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, why can't he just get a chance to fix it? There's no, I don't trust you anymore. That's crazy. I don't understand why the animosity that led to that. There's just, okay, fix it. This didn't grow. I've been watering it all the time. Just fix it. Why wasn't it there instead of becoming a $3,200 lawsuit? My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiff fails to prove her case. She does not win anything. Sorry about that. What are you thinking?
Well, I brought him to the court, the people's court, but some things like there was no digging up. He did not dig the roots of that sod up before he laid it.
Let me ask you, why didn't you let him back on your yard?
Because the contract was to do the driveway and that, and he never finished the driveway.
He did the driveway for free.
No, that's a lie. He did not do it for free. He just threw that in. He said
he did it for free.
He said he was going to do it, but he never did the driveway.
He
and
said
I
he
paid
did.
him for it. That's what he said, but I got pictures that the driveway was not done.
You didn't bring that up at all. Well, anyway, I'm sorry. You didn't prove your case. I was just wondering why you didn't let him come in and take care of the lawn for
Because
you.
he had my
said
money.
He guaranteed it.
He had my money and did not do my driveway.
Well,
So
sorry about that.
Okay.
I think you learned a hard lesson there. You should have let him take care of it. Thomas, she should have let you back on, right?
Yes, sir.
It would all been worked out. No problem.
100% guarantee. That is true. Yes,
Okay.
sir. I feel bad for her, you know.
Okay.
I just wish she would have allowed us to do the job that we were paid to do.
Very good.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. Okay, Harvey.
I mean, look, here's the thing. Majority rules here, and the fact is that unless this landscaper is totally incompetent, you have to give him one chance to go back and fix it. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Keith. He says he and the defendant were close friends for 20 years, but no more. They live together in 2 different apartments. The defendant owes him money for damages and rent. He owes him money for a bond he put up when he was arrested and airline tickets, too. The guy's trying to run away from him and the debt he owes, and he's here suing him for every penny of the $2,040.95 he's owed. This is the defendant, Trevor O'Connor. He says he let the plaintiff stay with him rent-free for 4 months when he relocated from Michigan to Georgia. He was his knight in shining armor, letting him live rent-free, so anything this guy is claiming in this lawsuit is more than offset by his nice hospitality in the plaintiff's time of need. How dare the plaintiff sue him after they've been friends for so long? He's accused of fouling up a friendship. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,200 for 4 months' rent.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. These litigants were close friends for decades until they lived together. The plaintiff says the defendant stiffed him on bail money, and the defendant says that he took the guy in when he didn't have a place. So come on. It's the case of familiarity really does breed contempt.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Keith, you've asked us to refer to you only by your first name. You're suing Trevor Eugene O'Connor, your former good friend, for $2,040.95 that you say he owes you and refuses to repay. You have a counterclaim against him for $1,200 for rent you claim he owes you and never paid. Let's talk to you first. What happened?
Well, I guess I'll start it from the first apartment.
Okay.
We lived in an apartment. It was in Marietta, Georgia. And there were damages done to the apartment done by both parties. Okay. And he agreed to pay half of those damages.
Okay. And half of those damages would be $325.28.
Yes.
And you don't dispute that, correct?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So now, what were the damages that you guys did that you were both so, yeah, that's us? Just out of curiosity.
Well, he would smoke in the apartment, so the smoking within the apartment caused, the apartment smelled like smoke. So the carpet,
smoke?
Cigarette smoke.
Okay. So why would you have to pay half if it was all his fault?
We agreed.
Yeah, but why? What other damages were there?
There were holes within the wall.
How did the holes get in the wall?
We got into an altercation.
Okay. And you two have known each other since when?
Since about 8th grade.
Goodness gracious. Okay. So now let's fast forward to the next apartment, and October 2017 comes around, and what happens?
Well, I never received an October rent payment from Trevor. So once the lease
So he failed to pay October, and then when you were saying once the lease, what? When did you guys leave that lease?
The lease was up October 31st, but we stayed about 8 days after October 31st.
So who paid November?
Well,
Nobody?
because of the situation I was in, I was in a really bad car wreck.
What happened?
He was there as well, but
What happened?
I was walking as a pedestrian on the sidewalk, and next thing I knew, I was in the hospital.
Goodness.
A car ran me over from behind and
On
drugged
the
me.
sidewalk?
On the sidewalk.
So the car veered and went onto the sidewalk?
Yeah, it plowed down the sidewalk and hit about 4 people.
You're kidding me. And did they catch the person?
There were several eyewitnesses, such as Trevor. He was there as well. And there wasn't a consistent color for the vehicle. There wasn't a consistent recognition for the license plates.
Right.
There wasn't a consistent make of the
probably
vehicle.
happened really fast, and it makes it very difficult. So he's with you when that happens, and that happens on what day?
It happened December 18th of 2016.
Oh, my
The lease
goodness.
was up.
In October of 2017.
Yes.
All right. So then, then you guys stay a few days into November. Nobody pays the landlord for November. Did you pay October?
No, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Well, that takes care of October. And then, according to you, his half of the utilities are $118.12, $81.17. And now, do you have proof that you were charged a late fee of $150?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see those two things. And now, it appears that you guys had a bit of a falling out, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say that happened?
Honestly, I think it was a little more because of the accident. Just after the accident, things wasn't the same between the friendship.
Why, though? You didn't plow him over on the sidewalk?
I didn't, but Keith kind of felt as if, with me being there, I should have got more information on the vehicle. So, like I said, after the accident, everything just wasn't the same. Just because I didn't have that information, I wasn't able to help him find the person that did.
You think he was mad at you for that?
Yeah.
Did he ever say so? Why would you conclude that?
He did.
Oh,
He did admit that he felt a certain type of way because I didn't get that information and wasn't able to help as much.
It happens very quickly. I mean, some people are observant. Some people, that's not their first, their first thing is to panic about your welfare.
That's exactly what it was, Your Honor. Actually, when it happened, I was so in shock. My first thing was make sure my friends was okay and then go from there.
So somebody explain this to me. Why is it that really good friends, when they move in together, end up hating each other a lot?
They find out who they really are living with.
So you could be good friends with somebody and not know them until you live with them.
Yes.
You buy that?
Yes, because I believe you need your own personal space. So if you're with someone for a long amount of time in a room, you don't really get that.
So when you know somebody really well, you end up hating them.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're the tiebreaker.
Yeah, same thing what she said. It's basically like you don't really know who you're living with. So yeah.
You guys got friends?
Yes.
Don't move in with them. You're going to hate them going inside the courtroom.
All right, now, apparently you put up a bond for him?
Yes.
Okay, what were you arrested for?
I was actually speeding on my motorcycle.
You were arrested for speeding?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you were charged with, speeding?
Well, my license was suspended, so...
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, that's a different crime. We call that driving with a suspended license.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you were arrested for.
Yes, ma'am.
Because there are states that actually make speeding illegal if it's over a certain amount. All right, so you post his bond?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happened with that case?
It's still pending. I'm still working with the lawyer with that case.
Do you have a warrant out for your arrest on that case?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever have a warrant out?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever fail to appear in court?
No, ma'am.
Okay, what made you decide that you wanted to, and did you move away?
Yes.
Where'd you move to?
Michigan with my aunt and father.
Okay, that's your what?
My aunt LaShawn.
She's your aunt?
Yeah, she looks really good, I know.
Wow. All right, so you move away, and then you flew from Michigan to Georgia to get your name off the bond. Why?
He had a warrant issued out for his arrest.
Okay, what evidence do you have of that?
I was not able to retrieve the evidence from the court because I would have to be there in person.
So you decide that you want your name off the bond?
Mm-hmm.
And so you fly to Georgia, and so you want $401.38 reimbursed to you for your flight to Georgia, then $315 money paid to remove my name from the bond. How did you even get your name? I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could get your name removed from a bond. I've been in the criminal courts forever. I had no idea that there's a thing like you surrender the guy. You say, I'm out. This guy's a flight risk. I'm no longer, but not. Hey, you know what? I'm no longer going to be a surety on your bond to the bondsman. That's why I don't understand what happened. What ended up happening with your bond?
I was very shocked. Actually, the bondsman came to my job while I was at work and arrested me. Took me to jail.
Oh, he did?
He did arrest me. Took me to jail.
And you want him to pay you to reimburse you for that? What possessed you to do that? You say somebody told you on the phone there'd been a warrant. And you have no evidence of that. And you deny there was ever a failure to appear on your part.
Not at all.
So the bondsman, wait, oh my gosh. And you guys have known each other since 8th grade? So what do you think? He goes through this effort to fly in to make sure you get arrested. Okay? Why would he do all that to you?
Honestly,
just because you didn't see the license plate of the car that hit him?
That's
I mean, there's
exactly.
got to be something more.
I feel like that's exactly it, Your Honor. Like I said, we've been cool since middle school. We never really got into
Did
arguments.
you
and
have
things
to
of that
pay
nature.
his October rent in order to stay there? You paid it?
Yes.
So maybe it's because you stiffed him on October rent. Do you think maybe?
Not that.
No.
Even with that.
Even
like,
with the half of the damages for the apartment that he paid for you.
even with the damages for the apartment, Your Honor, that wasn't completely me. Like I said, it was both of us, but also.
You agree that you agreed to pay half and then never did, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. That's good enough for you? It's good enough for me. I am not going to slice and dice which fist went through the wall, okay? I find in your favor, Keith, in the amount of $1,324.57, which is the half of the damages to the first apartment and the bills for the last month for the last apartment that he did not pay you. I am not finding in your favor for the airline tickets and the money paid to remove your name from the bond. That was something you chose to do, and nobody needs to reimburse you for it. You have a counterclaim against him for $1,200 for rent from, you say it's 2015, you say it's 2013 when you moved down. And the answer on that is no, because that wasn't a contractual obligation to pay you. According to you, you were letting him do it as a favor, so you don't get to sue for that now all these many years later. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks, and I hope you get speedily better.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the plaintiff prevails for a little over $1,300. Mr. O'Connor, the defendant's just come out of the courtroom. You know, what about this friendship? Is it over? I mean, I gather there's not much left now at this point. Huh?
I just hope he feels better. Everything gets better for the rest of his life there. No hard feelings. It is what it is, and we're going to keep moving from here.
Do you communicate with him at all?
Not at this point, but I'm sure in the future, like I said, we'll be okay.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good. Cool glasses.
Thank you.
Okay, good for you. All right. Sorry you didn't win the case. All right, Mr. Keith. You're smiling. You feeling good?
I'm feeling really great. I'm really excited that I live in a country where justice can be served. I didn't receive the full settlement. I'm fine with that. But, you know, one nation under God, for liberty and justice for all.
Well, good for you.
Listen to me. I told him never to fly there
You did?
to do it. I said never fly, and you didn't get the money for the ticket, but that's okay. Justice was served. You got the money for the other stuff.
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, this is the oldest line in the book, Doug. Somebody owes money and says, well, I did you this and that, I did you favors and we're even. You can't say we're even. If you owe money to somebody, you have to pay them, and all the other stuff you did, totally, totally separate.
Don't text and drive. The People's Court is a Ralph Edwards Stu Billett production.